Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I would like to show you a super interesting free plugin by the guitarist producer Gianni Chiarello. He has recently dropped quite a lot of free stuff, mostly guitar related. So we talk about effects, pedals, but along with that he also released something very particular which is aimed at music production in general, and it's called prebrowser. As you can see from his website, it is a channel strip. You've got an EQ on the left, a compressor, and a final section with a preamp and a gate. But here's the cool part, it's not a normal channel strip, it's not a traditional one, because you can make it change behavior depending on a profile that you load into the plugin. The type of profile that I'm talking about is called NAM, which stands for Neural Amp Modeler, which is an AI-based system that learns the behavior of real hardware like preamps, pedals, compressors, tape machines, and turns that into downloadable profiles you can use in your projects and in your music. Prebrowser does that connecting to a website called Tone 3000, where people upload, share tons of these profiles, and a lot of new profiles are being added on a daily basis. You can see there are already more than 250 pages of profiles, so there's a lot to explore. The setup of Prebrowser is a tiny bit annoying. The first time you need to make a free account on Tone 3000, grab the API key and paste it into the plugin, but after that, that's it, you're good to go forever. After that, you can browse the profiles that you like, and if you spot one, you can copy the name, paste it into the search bar of Prebrowser, and your entire channel strip instantly takes on that specific vibe. And if you find something that you particularly like, you can save it to the favorites and recall it fast anytime. Alright, that's enough yapping. Let's try it on a few different sounds. I made a quick project just for that, so you can hear where it really shines. Alright, here we are in Ableton. As you can see, I created different patterns with different instruments and elements. I created a little drum pattern. I used the 808 kit. I actually used this generation box thing here. I came up with this. I wasted no time and loaded Prebrowser on it. As you can see on the very bottom, I already have a profile loaded. It is kind of a strong profile, so you want to be careful with it unless you're going for something more extreme or creative. I wanted to give my drums a more aggressive character. Off. I would say the most important part of this plugin is the drive function here, because that's the one that really gives the character to the input. But the specific profile that you chose also impacts the behavior of the EQ and the compressor. So you might want to play around with that as well and see where you land. So moving on to the next element, we got this weird thing, which without any effect sounds like this. I used a simpler to chop up a melody from our latest pack. And yeah, after coming up with that, I pulled up Prebrowser straight away. What was initially almost like a kick drum, it now sounds like a more melodic element, almost sounds like a bass. This is the profile that I used, and I pushed it a little more harder using the drive knob here. A little bit of compression, as you can see the gain reduction. And after that, I'm just using light reverb, and I'm using the EQ to exclude the low end and the very high end as well from being processed by the reverb. Okay, next thing I did is a very simple melodic pad without any effects. Sounds like this. That's actually an Ableton preset that uses wavetable. I have an auto filter which gradually opens up, following this curve right here. Reverb. And then onto another Prebrowser instance. I'm using this other profile that you see on the bottom. I thought was sounding great. This time I'm not cranking the volume. The pad was sounding already cool in my opinion, so my only aim was to make it more rich, make it more present. As you can see, I'm applying a very light compression. And then I messed with both the drive and the level knobs to find a sweet spot where my pad was sounding richer but not distorted. By looking at the inputs and the output meters, the signals basically match each other. Although that, if I turn off the plugin, you can easily notice how quieter the incoming sound was compared to the one that is coming out of prebrowser. So now it's off. And now it's on. Okay, cool. On to the next element. You cannot see anything in this lane, but there's actually something going on. The reason is that I'm using this plugin called Live. You can load any sample into it and Live will slice it up, chop it up, and give you rhythmic ideas, which you can then easily export from the plugin and drag into your DAW. I played a little piano thing and I loaded into it. Without any effect, it was sounding like this. Prebrowser once again. I used this profile. I used it to the very extreme. In fact, it sounds like this. This time I'm using a feature that I haven't used before, which is the gate. And that's why the sound you just heard is a little scattery and broken in a way. So that is without the gate. The entire signal is passing through the plugin. With the gate on, it sounds like this. I have another auto filter automation. I didn't want my sound to be present for the entirety of the loop, but only in the second half. I introduced both a delay and a reverb, which make the fade of the sound a little smoother. Okay, on to the very last element. I've got this key sound, a stock Ableton preset. Used Effectrix. I used a preset that I made some time ago. Then prebrowser once again. You can actually see me searching for a profile. I was looking for more like weird profiles in the website and I found this one. So yeah, now it sounds almost like bit crushy in a way. Let's now play the whole thing. On the master, I'm actually using nothing but prebrowser again and the limiter, just like to control everything. In the Tone 3000 website, you can also find a ton of profiles coming from specifically mastering outboards and processor. I found this cool one from Neve, which I think it's actually like the most downloaded profile on the website. But yeah, no wonder it sounds amazing. So enhancing the low end a little bit, some gain reduction like glue style. So attack all the way up, release all the way down, compressing just like few decibels. I didn't touch the drive. It was sounding already super clean. I just gave 1 decibel of makeup. And yet this is how it sounds like now. I'm gonna turn it off. And on again. I think overall it sounds more glued together, even a little louder and richer. And yeah, I think that's it for today's video. Thank you if you made it this far. My suggestion is to go check this out. It's absolutely free. The only downside of it, the CPU usage, but I think that's not on the plugin itself, but it's rather on the NAM system, which is for the moment still very intensive and very requiring in terms of computer resources. If you maybe don't have a powerful laptop, you can still use it, but maybe consolidate your tracks, get rid of the plugin once you you did it. I will leave the link in the description to Gianni Chiarello's website where you can download prebrowser as well as all of his other super cool devices. I also encourage you to donate because in my opinion it's actually worth it. If you also want to support us and support the channel, down below in the description you can find a bunch of links that bring to our website and all of the services and products that we offer and sell. With that said, I hope you enjoyed and I will see you in the next one.